Alright, and nobody is here, but that's okay. We're gonna just tweet out the link. Why am I there? Share, Twitter. Getting that set. Okay. There we go. And let's just make sure the link posted. And I just knocked something over with my foot. Oh, wait, wrong one. Just gonna turn this a little bit. Okay, the link is out, and we'll see how many people show up, because I totally forgot to advertise this week that I was doing this. So, hopefully, somebody shows up, and if they don't, well, then we'll just call it a night, because I've got a lot to do anyway. Nobody's here yet, but that's okay. Because this isn't even in my feed yet. Come on, here's the link. Okay. It says one person's watching, but that's probably me. So, because I opened up my stream in a different thing. Oh, somebody I think is here. Hello, whoever you are. If you're actually here. Sometimes I swear there's just like bots that are in here temporarily, but it's all good. If you are an actual person and you're here, please leave a comment and let me know that you're here and you exist and that you're real. And we'll see how many people show up, because I was a completely forgetful person and forgot to, pre-advertise that I was streaming this week. Because my brain has just been everywhere at once, and doesn't matter how many times I write it down. So, oh, Alexander Black in a flesh. Alexander Black, literary madman, master of macabre, and possible 3 raccoons stacked in an overcoat pending to be human arrives. Hello, Alexander. Good to see you. Well, see your typing. There we go. That's what we'll go with. It's good to see your typing. He promises he is human. I totally believe you. But it's okay, because raccoons are cool. So either way, human, raccoon, it's all good. Ignore the chittering in the overcoat. I like it. It's okay. I have a raccoon actually in my work in progress, so I'm quite partial to raccoons. So I'm just gonna check Twitter to make sure my link is up and good to go. Again, I totally spaced on actually advertising that I'm doing this evening, so we'll see how many people actually show up. You know what? I'll put it on Facebook. I don't have like nearly as many followers on Facebook as I do Twitter, like at all, because I always forget that my Facebook exists. So we are live. Publish. Alright, how are you doing, Alexander? What are you working on this evening? Because I've got a lot of stuff to do, and if this ends up being a night where I kind of just shut up and don't talk, that might be a good thing, because I've got a contest that I need to get submitted to, because it's due tonight, and I just have this tiny part I need to tweak, and I keep just putting it off because I'm nervous. So we'll see if I can actually get off the pot and get that done. People use Facebook for things other than games. Right? I know. I listened to this podcast, this writing podcast, like a couple weeks ago, and there was this marketing expert on there, and she's like, "Oh, always make Facebook your #1 priority. Facebook is the most consistent social media platform, blah, 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 blah. Always make it your #1 platform and then have your secondary. And I was just like, are you sure? Like, I never seem to be able to draw in friends on Facebook, like, and it's an author page, obviously, not just like my personal page that I have, but it never feels like I can gain like any momentum with it. Oh, looks like somebody else is here. Yeah, hi, whoever you are. I'm just rambling as usual. You know, what else would you guys expect from me at this point? Alexander says, I am back to work on my murder mystery after a mental shutdown in December. Oh, the murder mystery that you were talking about. Okay, awesome. That is super exciting. Yeah, I'm working on a short story that I've been working on actually since like earlier this summer. Oh, looks like another person's here. Hi guys. If you want, just feel free to introduce yourself in the comments and say hi and let us know that you're a real live human being and all that good stuff. Uh, so yeah, no, that's awesome that you're working on a murder mystery. I love mysteries. Like, I kind of wish I would inject more mysteries into my stories, but because I used to do that a lot when I was a kid, but you know, one thing at a time, right? One challenge at a time. But glad to hear that you're back at that story. That sounds exciting. Yeah, so the short story, I just have one little part that I added on and I need to tweak. So, Ashton Gaskill? Sorry if I'm saying that wrong, but Ashton. Hello, I'm real and alive. Good! We like that, although we do welcome zombies and vampires and other undead beings here. Like, that's totally cool. But it's good just to know, just so we're all on the same page. Alexander says, yes, real human, like me, and not 3 raccoons. Yeah, Alexander's definitely not 3 raccoons. Definitely not. Just like I'm definitely not a pixie vampire, because that's the thing. All right. Oh, and I'm just going to show this off because why not? My friend gave me this mug a while ago. I don't know if it's backwards or not, but it says, pay no attention to my browser history. I'm a writer, not a serial killer. And I couldn't think of a more fitting mug for me with how odd of things I'm Googling for the sake of my writing. Like, as soon as she gave me this mug, I was just like, this is my favorite. And then again, all my mugs are my favorite, let's be honest here. Oh, more people are popping in. Yay! Lizzie! Hi, first time being here. I'm Lizzie Murphy. Hi, Murphy. I almost said hi, Murphy. Oh man, it's been a long day. Hi, Lizzie. Thank you. Yes, you participate in Writer's Patch, right? I think I recognize your little icon. It's so helpful when people have like the same icon throughout social media platforms. Like, I can actually recognize who people are because I'm so bad with names. It takes me like 50 tries to get a name down. So thank you so much for joining. So happy that this is your first time. Alexander says, welcome to the live stream, Lizzie. And Lizzie says, thank you. And lol, because I'm calling you Murphy. Ooh, yeah, smiley face. Yes, so for any of you who are here and this is your first time, I just like hosting these virtual write-ins. I started doing it back during NaNoWriMo in November, and I did it weekly, and it was so much fun, and it was a big success, and people asked me to keep doing it. So I have decided to just make it a bi-monthly thing where I, you know, talk writing with you guys, we do some writing sprints, we work on our projects, we give each other pep talks, all that good stuff. So that's the point and the purpose of tonight. We usually go for about an hour unless I'm feeling particularly like on a good track or we want to keep going, but usually we go till 8 o'clock, and sometimes I have prompts, and sometimes I have dares, and sometimes I have fun, silly things. And Lizzie says, what's everyone writing? And I was explaining this earlier, but I think it was before you popped on. I am actually working on finishing up a short story for a contest that is due tonight. And I have just been putting it off because I'm nervous, because I've been trying to submit to more and more contests and publications and that kind of thing this year. Like, it's my goal to, you know, do at least like 2 or 3 like every like couple of months, and I've done 3 so far since December, and I've been rejected by all of them, but this is really good practice for me, and I really just, fingers crossed, like want to keep putting my best foot forward and to keep you know, testing the waters of submitting. So I am working on a short story. It is a spooky story because I'm a horror writer, so of course I can't help it. It's a story I actually started back in August, I want to say. It's called Beautiful Corruptors, and it is the story of a girl who goes on a camping trip with three of her husband's best friend's wives, and she doesn't really, like, it's not that she doesn't get along with them, but they're all like the perfect housewife, like beautiful platinum blondes and gorgeous and tall and leggy, and she's just kind of like, you know, marches to the beat of her own drum, and she's on this camping trip with these three women that she's really not comfortable with, and there is an evening of drinking that she slowly starts, you know, unwinding, but unfortunately there is also something spooky going on in the woods, and chaos ensues. So I am excited to keep writing that story. It's about 12 pages long. It's about, I want to say 5,000 words, 6,000 words maybe. And I really love it. I've been working on it for a long time. I've been just tweaking it, and I'm very excited. Let's see. Alexander Black says, let's see. My icon is different from my Twitter. My Twitter pic is from my wedding. My YouTube icon is from a horror con I went to. I'm writing a mystery about a PI chasing a serial killer with a murder cult. Ooh, that sounds really intriguing. Lizzie says, ooh, sounds cool, Alexander. And then Alexander says, well, murder cults can definitely be religious zealotry. Murder cults with definite religious zealotry. And gosh, one of these days I'll be able to read. Ashton says, I'm working on a fantasy novella series. Ooh, that sounds cool. Lizzie says, now I'm scared. Smiley face lol. Sorry. There's some spooky stuff going on in here, and unfortunately, like, I write scary stuff, so hopefully I'm not scaring anyone too much. Yeah, just ignore all the spooky things in my background. There's also happy things, like my little Pokemon Pumpkaboo. That's always fun and cuddly. So if you feel upset, just like look at Roland, my owl, or something for comfort. And Ashton says the short story sounds exciting. Yes, I think everybody's stories sound exciting. I'm very intrigued. So I think we should start some writing, because I need to get some writing done. So at 7:15, we will do a 10-minute sprint just to get everybody up and running and flowing and all that good, lovely, wonderful jazz. So take the next 4 minutes to get a drink, or to, you know, warm up your fingers, or do some jumping jacks, or find your lucky pen. I don't know, whatever is part of your writing ritual. No judgment here. And there's no such thing as too much tea. So, oh, and if anyone's curious, because I get this question every so often, I'm drinking this Yogi dandelion spice tea. It's like a detox blend, although, I mean, I don't care if I'm getting a detox or not. Don't tell any of my friends that are into detoxes, but I just like the flavor, and it's not over dandelion-y. Is that a word? It's a word now. Language is alive. So it's a very good, nice blend, especially for if you need some energy, but it doesn't have caffeine in it. I think it's just the spice that kind of gives me a little bit of a boost. And Lizzie says, I'm working on my second book on my series. I haven't finished it yet. I'm also working on another work in progress, which sounds really cool. Awesome. Okay. And Alexander Black says, you're a horror writer, which makes you like 10 times more awesome than I first thought you were when I discovered Writer's Patch. Yay! Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm a dork, so it's all good. My husband came down to get his what
box
are those?
of X-Wing minis.
Oh, his box of X-Wing minis. That's a Star Wars game. So, hi, honey.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Do you want to be on the stream?
Do they want to see my toys?
I don't think they want to see your X-Wing minis.
Okay, that's all right.
Post a comment if you want to see his X-Wing minis.
Send me an email if you want a pizza roll.
Love you, honey. Oh no, people want to see. Oh no, he left. My husband's having game night with his friends, so maybe later. He's got a lot of minis though. Like you don't know the Pandora's box that you're opening by wanting to see that. Um, Ashton says Pumpkaboo is my favorite, or just Pumpkaboo a favorite, or just helps setting the mood. Pumpkaboo is actually my favorite Pokemon. It is my spirit Pokemon. My one friend declared it like officially. She's like, you know, this is your spirit Pokemon, right? And I was like, yes, it is. And one of my Patreon supporters, Steven, sent this to me, and it was like the coolest gift ever. And it always makes me excited to have him. Lizzie says, this girl, Haley, is out on a date when this guy at her school, and while at the movies, he hits her and almost punches her and another guy. And seen them? Oh my goodness. Yikes. That sounds intense. Sounds very intense. Ashton says, I want to see the minis. Show me the minis. Okay, maybe like at the end of the stream I can grab, like, he's got some huge ones, like just crazy minis. Lizzie says, after Haley is home alone for another week, Derek, the guy who hit her, shows up and attacks her again. Haley then calls her FBI brother to help her. Oh my gosh, your story sounds intense. Like, it sounds like a thriller, like a mile a minute. Kind of gives me like almost like a, oh, what is that book called? Oh, I can't remember what it's called. If I remember it, I'll mention it. But it is 7:15, so I think it is time for us to start writing before I miss the deadline of this contest, and then, you know, all that craziness goes on in my life. So I am going to, let's see, we are going to go for 10 minutes. So I will set a timer, and you guys just sit back, relax, and write. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And again, if you are just joining us, oh, Pumpkaboo's falling. If you're just joining us, we are going to write for the next 10 minutes, and I will get the timer going, because timer. Oh, it's technically 7:16, but it's okay. We'll still go for 10 minutes. So just work on writing, and ready, set, go. It would help if I had the right document open, wouldn't it? Whoops, that's the wrong one. Oh gosh, I totally forgot about prompts today. I'm sorry, I just saw Alexander's, do I have some old prompts? I might have a prompt. Otherwise, this might be a writer's patch question. Okay, I do have a prompt. Okay, sorry, I usually do prompts, and I totally forgot to prepare some ahead of time, but I've got some extras from previous streams. So have your character do a handstand. I must have been in a mood when I wrote this. So have your character do a handstand. That's your prompt. I'm sorry. Go. 5 minutes left on this sprint, so just do your best. Oh, sorry, Lizzie. I'm just seeing your question about if any character, just the main character, would be doing the handstand. Sorry. Any character. Any character. So hopefully that turns out okay. Um, oh, and then Ashton said, I think any character would be fine. Perfect. And that is time. All right, guys, how did you do? I didn't, word count isn't important to me today because I'm just trying to tweak this one section of my story. But if you guys want to report your word count, let me know, or let me know what you were working on. Looks like I missed a section of conversation, but that's okay. So, did you guys find a way to make the handstand work? I did actually incorporate it kind of like artistically into a line. Like my character felt like she could do a handstand, like she felt like she had a lot of confidence. Lizzie says, cool and thanks. Around 200 words. Yes, yay, congratulations. That's a good chunk of words to add to your work. And if you're just joining us, we just finished up our first sprint of the evening, just a quick 10-minute one. So cool, yay. Okay, exciting. And how did the rest of you guys do? Did you work on something? Did you tweak something? Let me know. Post a comment. I made my main character's son do a handstand. Oh, I love that. I love that. That is perfect way to add that to the story. And actually, I don't know, I'm feeling kind of like in a sherry mood today. So you know what? I'm gonna read just a tiny like snippet from my story, and out of context, it might not make a lot of sense. Long story short, my character is camping and slowly getting drunk, and things are slowly like she's finally letting her guard down a little bit around these characters that she's not normally comfortable with. So I don't know. I'm just gonna share a little bit while you guys get your words totaled up if you're doing that. A floodgate had opened. Izzy found herself having quippy remarks for each of the subjects the ladies covered. To her surprise, they built on her remarks. Her stomach was hot with adrenaline and wine. Her head felt tilted but content, a leaning tower regarded as a landmark rather than a mistake. Maybe Luke had been right. Her worries were buried beneath her smile. She lost track of how much wine she drank as the other girls continued to nurture her glass. I'm so glad you're showing us this side, Marvel said. We love it. Please call me Izzy, she said. And then they began another round of roasting gooey s'mores. That's not particularly scary, and it's in the middle of the story, so out of context it might not make much sense, but I don't know, just felt like sharing something. Alexander Black says, not many words, had to backtrack and fix a plot hole while I caught it. Managed to fix it and spark some, I can't read today, and a side character in the process. Cool, awesome. It's good to backtrack. Like, it is definitely good to catch those things and take care of them ahead of time as opposed to just letting them go and then having to try to fix it after you've completely buried it in the story. Like, that was a good idea to go back. Ashton says, I'm mostly working on relaxing post day job before I start working on my edits tonight. Cheering on all the drafting though. Yay! Oh, awesome. Yeah, definitely take some relaxing time. Like, especially after a day working. That is totally fair, and that is a good thing to do. I am all for giving each other mental breaks. So cool. So I think because I'm probably gonna read through my story one more time because I think I got things the way I wanted them to be. So I'm probably gonna do another sprint in the next like let's say in the next 5 minutes. So at 7:35 we'll do another sprint just to make sure we keep the workflow going and all that good stuff. Lizzie says, have here's a small section from my work in progress. Haley asking her brother Charlie if he has a girlfriend. Ooh, that sounds interesting. And it sounds like your character might be kind of like nosy about Charlie or her brother Charlie's life, which is always good. So feel free to look at that, guys, because that's always fun when we can share things with one another. That's always a good, grand old time. Yeah, so how are you guys doing this week? I actually, this week is, if you follow me on Patreon, you probably already know this, but this week marks when I'm officially starting my second draft of my novel, and I'm still not started on it. I made a video all about it at the beginning of the week if you wanted to check that out too. That has more details. I haven't started yet just because I'm still like I've just had so many projects that I need to finish up, and I also have to finish my outline because I've realized there was a lot of stuff that needed tweaking in it before I could commit to fully starting the story. But I'm so excited about this story, guys. My novel, it's not the project I'm working on tonight, but my novel has me so jazzed, and I can't wait to fully dive into that. And I was doing some more research because it's very heavily influenced by Baba Yaga, and I know that's more the American way of saying Yaga, but I'm sorry, I'm bad at pronouncing words in English. But it's very inspired by Russian folklore and the stories of Baba Yaga, and just kind of like the overall story of the crone or the hag kind of figure in literature. So I am all sorts of excited because I did some research on that today and found some really good videos to help me with just kind of building the lore more within my story. So that's got me super jazzed. Let's see. Lizzie says the way it looked when I pasted it into the chat, it looked weird. So I'll post a small section in the chat. 1 second. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, feel free to look at that, guys, because I'm sure, I think there's like a character limit before like it cuts you off. Like after 200 words, it kind of freaks out, and if you do longer things, it freaks out a little bit more. So yeah, and also YouTube is kind of just a butt in general. So so I apologize if the chat is being weird, but feel free to check that out, guys, because that's always cool. We can share little bits of our work with one another. And yeah, I'm I'm excited by the possibility of doing new projects and starting new things, and it's good. It's very good. I feel guilty. I was supposed to start officially getting back into blogging today, but just with how things are falling together, I might not get that done today. I might have to start that officially next week. But I'm excited to get back into blogging, and I also have my goal of writing 2 chapters per week throughout the month of February. Hopefully I don't lose my sanity with that goal. And it's just a grand old time. It's been fun. Like, it's been a lot of fun. Let's see. Ashton says, were you still fleshing out the world characters for the Baba Yaga story, or are you starting a full-fledged drafting? So I wrote the actual first draft back during NaNoWriMo, but I decided that there was some heavy edits that I needed to do, and I needed to rework like entire sections of my outline. So when I look at Baba Yaga stuff, like I've already kind of established my world building and I've created my characters, but I just like learning more of the history and background of folklores and fairy tales and that kind of stuff, just to kind of like almost inspire the style of the story, if that makes sense. Like I like learning more about how those characters played a role in old stories, and see, it's like I'm almost watching videos and researching it more just so I know how to twist it a little bit more and to figure out how I want to put my own spin on things. And I also want several of my characters to kind of inhibit different iterations of Baba Yaga, because sometimes she's a trickster, sometimes she's almost like a fairy godmother character, sometimes she's an old crone, and sometimes she's just straight up gonna try to eat your kids. So I just like knowing all of that, because it's almost like I'm inserting certain characters into those different parts of the story. There's no like big Baba Yaga character overall in the story. So yeah. Oh gosh, I'm talking too much though. So feel free, check out what Lizzie posted, because that is definitely cool, and thank you so much for sharing. And I am going to get the timer started. Let's go for another 10 minutes. And it helps if I turn the volume on my computer. All right, ready, set, go. And I think I have some more old prompts that were unused over here. Let's see. Your mare. Oh my god, I can't read. Your main character confronts a harsh truth. Ooh, there we go. Cool. All right, so your main character faces or confronts a harsh truth. That is your prompt. So take it and go. And I think I just missed a comment. Good stuff, Lizzie. Talking too much, but it's always interesting. But, thank you, Ashton. I'm going to share too after this next sprint. Yes, feel free to feel free to share, guys. Sorry that I'm not reading everything. I'm stumbling enough reading regular comments and I don't want to butcher everybody's work. So, yes, please be sure to read each other's stuff, and maybe once I like drink some tea, I'll be able to like read things a little bit more. But yeah, yeah. So I am going to. I got that prompt in the bag. That's most of Jocelyn's life in this tale. Awesome. Okay, cool. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop talking now. So I'll let you guys write. Wilbert. Sorry, guys. My dog just came in. Hi, sweetie. Here's a puppy. sorry to interrupt, but I just figured a puppy appreciation moment was needed. Willie, look, say hi. He hates when I pick him up, so I'll probably put him down in a second here. Oh, there you go. Okay. All right, be free. Sorry, Willie pushed the door open and all the cold air in the world was getting in, and I was really cold, so sorry. And if you're just joining us, we're just doing a 10-minute sprint for writing, so feel free to jump in. We've got about 16 seconds left. Oh my gosh, I was not paying attention. All right, well, we are pretty much done. Oh goodness, and I missed some chat stuff, so that is time. Oh, Alexander says, "Hi, Willie. Cute. What a cute boy. What a good boy. Smile, smile, smile." I seem to have missed a cute. Ashton, just so you know, I will have this video uploaded later to my channel. So if you wanted to, rewind it to see the cute thing that you missed, I held my dog up. He wandered into the room, and I never miss an opportunity to show off how cute my dog is. So yeah, that was Willie. If you've never seen him before, and he's just the cutest dog in the world. I'm not biased at all. Lizzie says, "What was the prompt again?" Oh, I'm so sorry. It was that your character confronts a harsh truth. So it's okay. The prompt is totally optional. So if you missed it, it's not a big deal. Oh, Alexander Blackman told her. Sorry. Thank you. Random account. I eat children. Okay. We are going to just. There we go. Okay, so Lizzie says, "Oh man, and can that count for like a few pages back, written a few months ago? My main character learned something hard about his daughter. Spoilers. Well, less than 100 words. No, that's awesome. Still, that you got that. Awesome. Okay, yeah, no, totally. Old stuff counts too, cause who am I to judge? Thank you, Patrick Nerd. That person was weird. Um, yeah." I don't know what was going on there. That was probably just Baba Yaga stopping in. Yeah, right? That's usually how it goes, right? I usually attract at least one ghost or ghoul or goblin. You said her name too many times and got her attention. Random troll being trolling, I guess. Yeah, and of all the things to troll, this little stream. I don't understand. Some people need more hobbies, I think. But that is okay. No, not to sound nosy, but do you have an answer to if you don't want? How old is everyone here? Oh, yeah. If you guys want to share it, you can. If you don't want to, I'm 27, so yeah, yay, happy me. And Alexander says he's 28, so we're like almost like the same age. I will be turning 20. Ashton's 27 too. Yay for the 27 party. I will be turning 28 in November, so I still got a ways to go before I'm 28. Ashton says that's a close number cluster. That is. Lizzie, 18. You're 18? Oh my gosh, you're the baby of the group. No, that's okay though. That is perfectly okay. Almost 19 next month. Happy almost birthday. No, that is awesome. I love when we can have like a big old age range of people around here. Just because I think it's cool to just get experiences from everyone, both young and old, and young at heart. And I think we are all very young and spry. So, thank you. Okay, time to share an excerpt from my current chapter. It's a bit of a flashback to a moment that ended her law enforcement career. Ooh, took a break between 17 and 24 to set my skills way back. I totally understand how that goes. I had writer's block for about 5 years, so I know how that goes with having to get back in the swing of things. And then about 2 years ago, I joined the online writing community, and it completely just changed my life forever, and it's wonderful, and I love being able to be here and work on my writing, and I feel like it's stronger than ever because I've met so many great people and gotten so much great advice that I don't know how I would have ever, like, I would have had to read so many books, and I don't know, it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. Yes, but Alexander, feel free to share away. And Lizzie says, okay, Alexander. So, oh, I'm excited. So we only got about 10 minutes left. Like, this always goes so quickly. Like, I can't believe how quickly it goes. And my dog is barking. That's weird. He never barks. I'm guessing my husband's hosting game night upstairs, so I'm guessing one of the guys irked him somehow. Oh, hi, Will. Oh, why are you so who put a bee in your bonnet? Hi. You're okay. Hi. Sorry, puppy needed some attention. Up and there he goes. Okay. Ouch. Sat in a chair. He sat in a chair with chains wrapped around him. Half of his face was swollen and purple. His legs were tied tight to the chair, but one of them I'm starting to bend. Not a natural angle. Okay. I'm getting squeamish. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna just if you guys want to read that, go for it. I will definitely read it in my head. I won't read it out loud just in case some people don't want to be creeped out, like, you know, just in case. But ooh, that gives me chills, Alexander. Good job. Oh my goodness. You guys are so talented. Let's see. Ooh, it looks like we have someone new. Coffee Skeleton Films. I'm writing a mystery story for a competition, and it is required to be 1,200 words. Have you ever been to a competition before? And if so, do you have any advice? Yeah, I'm actually working on a story for a competition, literally in this very chat. Make sure you read the guidelines and be like Santa Claus. Check your list twice. Like, make sure you're not missing any details for things that are requirements. As far as like trying to hit a word count goal, um, sometimes some pre-planning helps a little bit because a lot of times I pants short stories, but if I make like a bullet list of the main things that I want to accomplish, it prevents rambling and helps me get to the point at least while still leaving me some creativity to just kind of like, you know, take the story and go. So yeah, biggest advice, check the guidelines, make sure that you're following everything. Some places don't want your name on the manuscript, some places want it in a certain format, certain like spacing, certain numbers, sizes, anything. Like, just make sure you review everything that they want or don't want. That is huge piece of advice. And then also just maybe make a list of the things you want to make sure to accomplish in that story, so that way you get there while trying to also stay under that word count goal. Um, Lizzie says, ouch, I don't know what the heck happened in that flashback, but dang, that sounds awesome. Yes, that is very true. Quite the disturbing atmosphere, Alex. Anyone did at NaNoWriMo? If so, is something to say that's pretty exciting. If so, something to say that's pretty exciting. Yeah, no, I've done NaNoWriMo now for 3 years, 4 years, 3 years. 3 years. I'm also have done Camp NaNoWriMo 2 years, and I love it. I absolutely love it, and it's such a great time of the year. November in general. It's like it's my birthday month. It's right after Halloween. I have a lot of family stuff going on, so it's a really exciting time for me. So I definitely recommend NaNoWriMo or National Novel Writing Month. If you're not familiar with it, just Google it and learn as much as you can about it because it's a really good time. Let's see. Alexander says she was beating on someone she was sure was a serial killer that had left over 21 victims in his wake. I drove her mad, as you can see. Oh my gosh. And that was the enhanced interrogation. Ooh, that sounds a little bit like not up to police code for your character to be doing. That explains a lot why she's not on the force anymore. Michael Gray, sorry I got here late tonight. That's okay. Feel free to, you can watch the stream after the fact. Otherwise, I will be streaming again in 2 weeks, which So that will be the 21st that my next stream will be going. I also have on the 15th my Patreon only live stream, and that one's a little bit different from what we're doing tonight. These live streams are for writing and just general chit chat, where for my Patreon live stream, it is where you, I can't words this evening. I'm a writer. Um, it is where I do more style like my writer's patch discussion, where we have like a topic that we're discussing and writing questions, and we more go in depth about questions that people have. I actually share actual samples of my writing, like bigger chunks of things. I give more updates on the projects that I'm working on that I don't talk about anywhere else. And it's a really good time. And I also host a giveaway for all of my Patreon supporters, and give away a prize. It was a book last month. I have something else planned this month. And in case you're not familiar, Patreon is a platform where you can pay to help support my work as low as $1 a month. So if you wanted to check that out, there's links like in every social media I have. For the Patreon only live stream, I will, I think, be hosting a lottery for like 5 or so people who are non-Patreon supporters to also be a part of it. So keep an eye out on my Twitter account, because I will post like a little thing that you have to do to be entered in to possibly win a chance to be part of the Patreon live stream. So keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, if you don't want to go into the lottery and you just want to bypass that and be in that stream for sure, be sure to donate to my Patreon page. And I'm talking too much as usual. Uh, let's see. Coffee Skeleton says, thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. If you have any other questions, just feel free to type them in. Alexander says, I've beaten NaNoWriMo 4 years in a row, took last year off. Yes, and yeah, you started with the Patreon, or not the, yeah, with the NaNoWriMo live streams. That's when we first met. Like, well, no, I think you were my Twitter follower before that. My memory's not so good, but I remember like we started interacting more around that time, which was really cool. But 4 years in a row is awesome. Last year was my 3rd year. I really want to do Nano again a 4th year. It depends on where I'm at with my current project. And hello to everybody who all of a sudden is in here. Um, Lizzie says, oh, and so that Lee and Stu are getting fired from her police job. I get it. Yeah, so that was discussing the snippet from Alexander's story that he shared. Ashton says, Nano seems to have always fallen at a bad time for me. You tend to already be in the middle of one thing or another. Yeah, well, there's always Camp NaNoWriMo too, where you can kind of like be in the middle of a project and it's a little more fluid in that sense. So that's always something that you could do. Otherwise, eventually you'll get there. Eventually the stars will align, I like to think. So People from NaNoWriMo is having a Pitchapalooza where you have a 200-word page pitching your book, and if you get picked, you can meet a publisher or agent. Oh, is that going on right now? That's really exciting. I don't think my manuscript is up to my standards yet to actually pitch it to anyone. Like, I'm thinking about doing a pitch contest called Pitch Dark. That usually takes place in, I think, May and October, and depending where I'm at, I'm guessing October would probably be more fitting for my schedule. I'm thinking about pitching to that. That's a Twitter pitching contest, but it's always good to keep your ear to the ground about pitch contests. Alexander, yeah, you can need someone for a bad, so bad that they lose an eye. The guy was a horrible person, so she wasn't prosecuted, but she had to retire early. Yeah, that probably would make you need to retire early. I'm pretty excited for it. I'm working on my pitch at the end of February. Could be wrong. Check social media. I didn't win last year. That's okay that you didn't win. The main thing is that you wrote and you learned something. Even if you decide, like, I made a video all about deciding whether or not you need to quit NaNoWriMo, and I want people to understand not to always feel that pressure that, oh, you've got to win, or else you're a failure. Sometimes you just need that, like, you need the atmosphere of NaNoWriMo to help you realize what you need to do and what exactly it is about Nano that made you want to do it. So it's okay. It's perfectly okay. And that's really exciting that you're thinking about doing a pitch contest. I wish you a ton of luck with that, because that's a nerve-wracking process, but it's good. It's good to dip your feet into the pool and get familiar with that. Do any of you play any instruments? Lizzie, you just are like the question master this evening. I am pretty sure I'm tone deaf, so I do not play instruments. I can't sing, I can't dance. Oh dear God, I cannot dance. I have like no musical ability. Back when I was in middle school, they had us do like an intelligence test, and it told you like, you know, you were more like visual, like, or athletic, or kinesthetic, or, you know, the different types of intelligence. And my lowest one was music. Like, it was like bottom of the barrel. Like, you got no music ability, girl, do you? um, Alexander, I lost 2 years in a row before I won. Yeah, sometimes it just takes some practice, and it takes figuring out the best technique for yourself. So that is no big deal. Um, Lizzie says, "Thank you. I'm nervous." Yeah, it's okay to be nervous. Just deep cleansing breaths. It's all good. Everything's gonna be fine. And just believe in yourself and understand that even if you don't win, and there's a good chance you might not, and that's okay, because the important thing is that you are trying and you are putting yourself out there and you're learning more about yourself. So that is what is really important. Um, let's see. Oh, I lost my place. Alexander says, I used to play the trumpet, then lung issues. Ooh, I'm sure that probably kind of prevented things. Ashton says, no, but I have a guitar that I started learning, but I had to spend time working on it, or working, so here I am. Oh, working on writing. Oh, that makes sense. Like, okay, I used to play the French horn. That's so cool. There's so many cool, like, instruments that you guys play. You're all so talented. Lizzie, I played the drums since I was 8, so for 10 years. Oh my gosh. And then, ooh, Michael Gray. Ashton says, woot for all the musicians. Alexander raises his hand. Is mayonnaise an instrument? Thank you for the SpongeBob quote. Like, SpongeBob has kind of been my jam all day and my entire life. So, yeah. DC Sanders 92 says, I learned more from losing than I did when I won. That is a really good point. I feel like so many people learn so much from when NaNoWriMo doesn't work out. And that's why I made a video all about quitting NaNoWriMo, because I was trying to emphasize that it is good to decide to quit or to lose, because you learn so much about yourself every time you do NaNoWriMo. And I always encourage people to do Nano, because it is a chance to like condense down your process and just go, and you're gonna figure out really quickly what's not working for you. Like, you're gonna find out really fast, because it's just such a quick time to be writing. So Lizzie says, ha ha ha, I love that episode, right? That is a good SpongeBob episode. Classic SpongeBob. And I was in 5th grade when SpongeBob came out, and now there's still SpongeBob, I think. And I feel so old. Ashton gave a little smiley face. Coffee Skeleton Film says, I know this is a generic question, but what is your favorite book? Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so hard. No, I love these kind of questions. I would say I really love Inkheart by Cornelia Funke, or Funk. I pronounce it Funky because it ends with an E, and I know she's a German writer. And my main name's Cassie, and it ends in an E, and nobody pronounced it correctly, so I'm just assuming it's Funky because my E was always pronounced. I'm rambling really bad, but I love that book. Like, that was one of those books where I can read it a million times and still absolutely love it, because I feel like I'm just always so absorbed in the world and in the visuals created by that story. And as someone who loves reading, it was just always a great story to read as a person who loves reading, because it's about characters who love reading and characters who love writing. And that book always makes me excited. Some newer books that I've read that I've really enjoyed were Bird Box, and the name of the author, I think it's Josh Mallerman, something like that. I'd have to double check, but that is a horror story. It's like a post-apocalyptic story about a threat that is causing people to kill themselves. And whenever you see this thing, you feel compelled to kill yourself. The problem is no one knows what it is, because if you see it, you kill yourself. So chaos ensues. That was a book I read very recently and I absolutely loved it. I also really enjoyed The Diviners by Libba Bray. Oh gosh, what other books do I? Oh, it's so hard for me to narrow it down. I love so many books. Of course, the Harry Potter series. Prisoner of Azkaban is my favorite. If you needed to know which one of that, but yeah. What are your guys' favorite books? Let's see. Lizzie says, "One sec, everyone. Be right back." My favorite books are the Hunger Games series and the Tiger's Curse series. I've heard of Tiger's Curse, but I haven't read that. I do like the Hunger Games though. That's really fun. Alexander the Store by Bentley Little. It's a horror story that honestly made me paranoid as I read it at night on a long road trip from Montana to Illinois. Oh no! That is wonderful and horrible all at the same time. I'm going to add that to my list of horror books. My favorite book for the time being is Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami. I'm so sorry if I butchered that. Let's see. Wow, I did not read that at night. More so on I would not read that at night. More so on a car drive. Alexander says Gwendy's Button Box by Stephen King, and Richard Scheismar is a brilliant novella. It's a drama thriller and it is so amazing. Ashton, yep, it's way too hard to narrow it down for one for me. Maybe Name of the Wind. Oh, I totally forgot about Name of the Wind. I love that book. Oh my gosh, how did I forget that one? It's been so long since I've read it. I need to reread that one. Um, Lizzie says, sounds like the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who. Oh gosh, yeah, a little bit. Ashton, House of Scorpion was my favorite for a long time. Coffee Skeleton Film says, I loved Misery by Stephen King and To Kill a Mockingbird. To Kill a Mockingbird's a classic. Misery is actually one of my favorite movies, but I tried to read the book and I got so much anxiety I had to put it down and I haven't worked up the courage to read it. Oh my gosh, I need to go back to it because I loved what I was reading. It's just, whew, that book causes all the anxiety. Alexander Black, I'm a horror fanatic. The rule for horror movies is watch them at night, so I thought I could handle a little book. What was wrong? I was terrified to go to the gas station to pee. Oh my god, that's when you know that was a good story. DC Sanders, what is your favorite short story? Oh, that's a tricky one. Let's see. Oh, I'm so bad with names of short stories. I read a lot of the short stories I read were back in college and in high school. The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Gilman Perkins, I think is her last name. The Yellow Wallpaper tells the story of a woman who has recently had a child and she's writing these diary entries and she's slowly seeing a woman in the wallpaper in the nursery and it's like, is she losing her mind? Is she actually seeing something? And it is just, oh my gosh. And everyone's like, oh, you're fine. It's your hormones, just relax. And oh my god, I love that story. So Yellow Wallpaper, an incident in the Rose Garden. I can't remember who wrote it though. That was about this like busybody old woman who was like writing passive aggressive letters to people in her town, and she gets her comeuppance. Let's see. There was another story that I can't remember who wrote it or what it was called, but it was a story about a guy who was going to swim home from a party, and that was his way of doing that was by cutting through all the neighbors' yards and swimming through everybody's swimming pool because everybody had a swimming pool, and he's drunk, so that explains. So he's gonna swim home by hopping fences and swimming through pools all the way home, and it was wonderful. I can't remember what that was called. I don't have a short story, says Lizzie, or a favorite. Ashton, the question is probably my favorite short story. The Grail, Michael says The Grail by Harlan Ellison. Ashton, the last question. Crash Course did an episode on the Yellow Wallpaper, I believe. Oh, I love Crash Course. I'm gonna have to check that out. Or something similar. Lizzie says, does anyone play video games? Xbox, Wii, PC, PlayStation 4, etc. I actually I'm terrible at playing video games, but I love them. I absolutely love them. And that is why Let's Plays are so important to me, because I love watching people play video games. Like, ever since I was a little kid, I didn't want to play the game. I wanted to watch people. And my dad and I would, like, play Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and I would read like the cheat book for him and tell him where to go and what to do and understand everything he needed to do, and he would play the game and I would give him instruction, and that was always really fun. Like, that's one of my favorite memories growing up, is like watching my dad play video games and helping him out. Banjo Kazooie, all those good ones. I've been watching a lot of Monster Hunter lately because my husband recently got a PS4 and the new one came out, so that's been great. I watch a lot of like YouTubers that play video games. I am kind of mildly obsessed with Doki Doki Literature Club. If you haven't heard of it, I'm not going to say a single word about it, aside from that if you like things that are weird and slightly unsettling, go check that out. Game Grumps did an awesome Let's Play of that. Like, holy crap! Like, it was wonderful. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about it. But Doki Doki Literature Club is kind of my jam. Also, I enjoy watching people play Yandere Simulator because I'm a whack person like that. So, yeah, anything like that. Old classic games, new games. I just like watching people play games. Um, let's see. Oh gosh, I'm not keeping up with the chat. Alexander Black. The feeling you can only say it what it was in French by Stephen King. It's the in the collection of everything eventual. So weird and horrible and bizarre. I love it. Ooh, that sounds like my jam. Ashen. I've given up on most of my video games, but I still break out the 3DS occasionally for some Pokemon or Zelda action. Ooh, good games, good games. Lizzie says, Alexander says, I play video games at Lizzie Murphy. PS4 and Xbox 360. Been playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Oh, my husband played that one. That one was so much fun to watch. Lizzie says, awesome. Coffee Skeleton Film says, what is your favorite movie? You guys are just coming up with all sorts of fun questions. I do need to wrap up pretty quickly here, so this will be like our last question of the evening, because again, I gotta get back to work. And I just need, like, I need to submit my story. It's pretty much good to go, and I just need to submit it, and I need, like, no distractions to do that. So favorite movie, I am a movie buff, and I watch way too many movies, so the list could go on and on forever and ever and ever, but I really love Stranger Than Fiction, V for Vendetta, Children of Man, The Station Agent with Peter Dinklage. Oh my god, that is one of my favorites. There's so many other movies I love. I mean, as far as chick flicks go, Devil Wears Prada. I love When Harry Met Sally. That's me and my husband's like movie. Deadpool, Guardians of the Galaxy. If you want some newer, more superhero-y movies. There's so many movies. How do I narrow it down? Yeah, we'll just go with that list. I think I listed like 20 movies, so that's probably good enough. Lizzie says, Alexander Black, I love playing Halo. It's my favorite game series. Ooh, good choice. Ashen, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, best movie. Oh, that's a good one too. I missed that one. Alexander Black, The Crow is my favorite movie. Such a beautiful love story, a revenge story, and by the God, Brandon Lee hot. And by God, was Brandon Lee hot. Crow is actually something I have not seen. I need to add that to my list. DDLC is super interesting. So weird. I haven't heard of that. Lizzie says, I have a few: Hunger Games, Divergent, The Age of Adeline, Star Wars, Attack of the Clones. Ooh, Star Wars. If I had to pick my favorite Star Wars movie, Empire Strikes Back. I love me some classics. Lizzie, Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. Michael, Citizen Kane and Apocalypse Now. Ooh, fancy. Coffee Skeleton Film says, I love Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. That's another one I need to see. Michael says, that should have been a tie between Citizen Kane and Apocalypse Now. Oh, okay, fair enough. Oh, Doki Doki Literature Club. That's what you meant, Ashton. Sorry, I can't use my brain. Yes, I agree. It is super weird. Alexander Black, Force Awakens is my favorite Star Wars. Oh, I loved that too. I love the new one too. That's maybe controversial. Nobody throw anything at me, but I like Star Wars. So, Ashton, I think Revenge of the Sith is my favorite Star Wars. Also good. Yeah, just Star Wars. Just give me Star Wars. Except for the one that I don't like. But I won't tell you which one I don't like because I don't want to cause controversy. I cried at the newest one hard. Yes. Oh my god. Yeah, that one was kind of like it. So many feels. So many feels. But we are definitely over time, and I need to get back to work, and you guys probably need to get back to work. So that is going to conclude our chat for today, and I want to thank you guys so much. And again, the next stream, I have to keep looking at my calendar, is going to be on February 21st at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So feel free to mark that in your calendar. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Ringing that little bell thing also, I think, helps with notifications or something like that. I don't know. Everyone just keeps saying, ring the bell. And then more people are going, the bell doesn't work. So I don't know. Maybe ring the bell, subscribe, I don't know. Otherwise, if you guys have any questions, comments, and concerns, be sure to tweet me. The comments go away for this chat after I'm done, unless you comment on it after the fact when it's no longer live. It's weird like that. So, yeah, if you have any questions, comments, and concerns, feel free to tweet me at Patchwork Nerd. Otherwise, join me on Sunday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time for Writer's Patch, where we discuss writing and have a grand old time and drink way too much coffee because that's how I live my life. And let's see if there's anybody else saying anything else. Lizzie says, I had fun. I'll be here for the next one as well. Bye, everyone. Yay! Thank you so much for joining, and I'm so glad that you had a good first time, and we'll see you for the next time. Alexander Black says, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Yes, so I will see you guys later. And until next time, keep writing, keep laughing, and most importantly, keep encouraging each other. Toodles!